imagine what it had to be like to live under conditions of not only repression, tremendous racist discrimination, but no outlet for talking about it, for seeing a way of changing.
In the early 1940s, I would say that most white Americans never thought about blacks. They never thought about blacks except maybe as maids in quarters. And there was no consciousness of what was going on in the country.
They had been objects, they had been photographs, they had been images, they had been simply voiceless.
White people only knew black people in certain kinds of movies and films. It was black musicals, it was Shuffle Along, the comic routines, it was the wonderful jazz music, of course. I mean, what people talk about in terms of the Harlem Renaissance, the jazz age. All of that was part of created an imagery of black people that Wright had to transform.
When Native Son came out, all of a sudden, bam!
Like millions of young African Americans, Richard Wright migrated to Chicago, hoping for work and a better life. Wright came from Mississippi with just 7 years of education. Still, he landed a post office job and managed to support his mother and younger brother in a tiny apartment. Then suddenly, he lost his job.
Some folks in the world love our prayer to prayer. Oh, Lord, you will never go and leave your home.
One morning, my mother told me there was no food for breakfast. I knew that the city had opened relief stations, so I put on my hat and coat and went out. I rode in zero weather for miles in open trucks, then spaded the frozen earth for 8 hours, only to ride home again in the dark. A strange emotional peace had come to me. I knew that my life was cast with the men with whom I worked. Slow, plodding, inarticulate men. Workers all.
He had come.
Shook the literary world. The movie attracted Hollywood's leading talent. Now, the acclaimed suspense thriller explodes on home video. Richard Wright's Native Son. Starring Matt Dillon, Academy Award winner Geraldine Page, Oprah Winfrey, Academy Award nominee for The Color Purple and popular television host, The Bedroom Window's Elizabeth McGovern, John Carlin, Emmy Award winner and star of TV's Cagney and Lacey, Carol Baker, and introducing Victor Love as Bigger Thomas. The Hollywood Reporter says Native Son delivers superb performances, taut direction, a captivating script, and superlative production values. The Los Angeles Times says Victor Love as Bigger Thomas is shattering, a real splendid performance by the intense newcomer. Playboy magazine calls Native Son earnest, poignant, and probably as relevant now as when the book first appeared in the 1940s. And says the Film Journal, Oprah Winfrey gives another Oscar-caliber performance.
Last night at Ernie's with your drunk white friends.
Bessie, they wasn't my friends, I just worked for them.
And you eat chicken and drank rum with them. Thought maybe you was ashamed of me getting my after-work drink in my dirty work clothes. Just come from cleaning my white woman house, you sitting there with that crazy white gal all dressed in silk and satin. You ain't even speak to me.
I did, and I've been thinking hard about you, been missing you.
You just growled and waved your hand. Too busy looking at that old white gal batting her eyes at you, I reckon. My hair wasn't pressed, but I still smelled clean. You don't love me no more.
Oh, the hell I don't.
Lord, Bigger? Where you get this money from? You ain't got into nothing, is you?
Well, what, you gonna kiss me now, honey?
$125? You gonna buy me something?
You only want to get drunk.
You love me?
Sure.
Oh, Bigger, where you get this money from?
All my life I heard of black men being killed because of white girls, and there I was.
Richard Wright proved that a black writer could write considerably better than most of the white writers of his day. And after Native Son, the condescending attitude toward black writers was over.
He said, nothing comes before my art. For him, his art was sacred. He didn't care about anything else but that. What he had to do was the most important thing.